And that brings us into number 6, which is the psychological side of it. And I'm actually surprised we haven't spoken about this a bit earlier, because I would imagine that especially if you're a bit new and you've been relatively successful in your job and you say, okay, now I'm going to be a consultant, self-belief, confidence, understanding your worth and being able to present that well enough. What does that look like for a consultant on a day-to-day basis? How important is that psychological side?
Massively, hugely. When I first started coaching people, in my heart of hearts, and it just shows how much I've learned over the last 3 years. In my heart of hearts, I thought I'd be teaching people how to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If I condense it all down, it's Dan teaches you how to do X.
How to be a CTO sort of thing, do you
How
mean?
to
Or
how to how to find and win clients as a fractional
right,
CTO,
right.
as an
Yep,
example.
yep.
But the truth, there is so much more that goes on, and most of it is fairly psychological. When you leave corporate life, you leave behind a title, a work history, an ego, a team, a community. You
A
literally
monthly paycheck that's there.
a monthly paycheck, certainty. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. Even if we think that corporate life isn't that certain, it's not as certain as it used to be, but
Of course, of
it gives off an aura of certainty.
Yep.
And so you literally tear yourself out of that environment and you launch yourself into your own home office. You pad down there in your pajamas on day one. You go, right, let's do
Look at
this.
me, I'm a consultant. Look,
Yes. And
made it.
then it dawns on you. Then
Yep.
you go, how do I know if the thing that I'm doing is actually going to work? Or how do I know if the
Mm-hmm.
thing I'm doing is wanted? Or how do I know if people will take one look at this and think that I'm a big fat fake?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
there's the beginning of the unraveling spiral that happens. I guarantee every single consultant in their first year of business will hit imposter syndrome. They will hit negative self-talk. They will, without a system, without a structure, they will pivot, they will chop and change, they will create their own negative noise that is seen by other people. They will wonder whether this was the worst decision they've ever made, because suddenly it feels like they're working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to create success. And they will, and it's a very human thing to say out loud, you will feel lonely, like truly lonely,
Yep.
because people outside of this room don't know what I do. When I was
They probably
consulting
don't
all the time,
care either, Dan, to be honest.
no,
They
not
don't care, do
really.
they? Like, they don't care about you, is what I'm trying to say. It's
No,
like, Dan, yeah, whatever.
no. And so solo, by its very nature, solopreneur, it can be a lonely existence. More dangerous without a point of validation. It's easy to make incorrect assumptions.
Yep.
And so what I tried to create inside the fractional formula was not only education. I mean, education, I say it to everybody I ever speak to. There's nothing I say out loud that you couldn't research and find out for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Dare I
Mm-hmm.
say it, ChatGPT, Perplexity, YouTube, LinkedIn, Google. Remember that search engine that we used to use?
Yeah, I remember that.
All of that knowledge is there to be found. How to apply it and how to do it, that's a slightly different thing. But the bigger part for me is twofold. Number one, having somebody that has walked along that path and knows where all the demons are and
Yep.
can get you through there cleanly with support. Somebody that can keep you accountable, because when you are solo, it's easy to chase shiny objects. I'm going to build a website today. I'm designing a logo. I'm living the dream. So having
Yep.
somebody that will keep you accountable. But on the second side, having a community of like-minded people that are all on that journey together, that's the real differentiator. That's the difference between perpetually nagging away at yourself versus reaching out to somebody in the same position and going, am I mad, or is it just me that feels like this? And those are the little micro conversations that I see every day of the week inside my community of people going, I woke up today with a real nervousness about
Mm-hmm.
this ideal customer or about this product or service. Has anybody got some time just to jump on a call and have a chat about it? That's where I start to see the unlocking effect. What I would say to people listening, if you are already in that journey and you are already starting to feel the self-doubt, a couple of quick points. As an employee with a successful track record, so these are people that become consultants, right? Is you've done your job for 10 to 15 years, you're an
Yep.
expert.
Yep.
As an employee, multiple times throughout your career, someone looked at you and thought you were the right person for the job. They provided you instant validation. You now have to carry that with you because you didn't become stupid the moment you left corporate life. All of your experience, all of your credibility carried. And if I'm brutally honest, most clients don't care where you got your experience from. They don't care whether your experience came from corporate, whether it came contract, perm, interim. All they care is that you are able to solve the problem they've got.
Comes back to exactly what you were talking about earlier on, right?
Yep,
Talk to me about my problem and solve my problem.
precisely that. So
Yep.
if you are sitting there at your desk wondering what the hell to do, or wondering whether whether it's gonna work or whether it's not gonna work, you have to find a way of ironing that noise out. For me, remember way back when, I remember reading a book called Chimp by
Got it.
Professor
Love it. Great book.
right,
Professor Bright Stephen Cox or something. Yep.
Stephen
Got it. I've got
Peters.
it right. Got it right here. Yep. There we go. The Chimp
I,
Paradox.
I remember reading
Phenomenal
that
book.
and I remember it making more sense than I was prepared for it to make.
Yep.
The negative self-talk is the chimp. It has a job to do. What I learned to do in my own, and this sounds really fluffy and sitting on a cloud saying but what I actually learned to do was have a conversation with that. You know, when I
Yeah.
hear
That's the
when
thing that you have to give it a name, don't you? You give your monkey a name, and then
yeah,
when it starts to play up, you
I've got
talk to it.
it's funny. There's one of my clients that will see this and he'll have a go at me later. But I have a Dave in here.
Yeah. Yeah. I think mine was called Dave at one point. Yeah. Okay.
I have to be careful because every time I use Dave as a negative influence, my client Dave has a moan at me. It's like you're really
Yeah.
anti-Davids. But you know,
Yeah.
I used to speak back to it. Just go, look, I hear you, I understand your concern, but what you're saying to me is not based on reality, it's based on fear.
Yep.
And here's my evidence to counter it. So let's park that problem and let's refocus on what's good. And I do that quite, I become, in a strange sort of way, I become that person for my clients when they come to me and say, oh, you know, a
Yeah.
little bit nervous about this. And I go, let's just unpack it. How much of your nerves is based in reality? How much of it's based on fear of the unknown? How much of it is completely made up? You know, what we used to tell the kids as the what if monster. Let's just turn that around. What if it does succeed? What if it is the biggest problem your client's got? What if it is in demand? What if you are able to sell? And having watched, you know, I've worked with pushing up to 150 plus people now. The first time one of my clients achieves success, the first time somebody reaches out to them and says, I want to talk to you because you do the thing that we're really struggling with. The first time they sign on the dotted line, they say, actually, hey, Dan, I've won a client. I'm
Hmm.
actually doing this. I created that client, not it was a referral, not it was a recruitment piece.
I
I
made
re
it happen.
I reached out to them. I spoke to them about the thing that I knew they were suffering with. It resonated. We jumped on a call and now I'm working with them. Suddenly that chimp shuts right up.
Yep.
It just wanders off,
Yep.
disinterested to go and find something else to worry about. And so for me, the psychology of working on your own, the psychology of starting a new venture, look, it's supposed to feel scary. You're
Yep.
walking into a territory that you don't yet understand. It's supposed to become a train of thought. That's how you succeed. You create focus based on that train of thought. If it was really easy, corporate life wouldn't exist. We'd have all jumped ship 10, 15, 20 years ago.
I've had a string of guests on this show
Mhm.
of all sorts, from really sort of successful people who've been in senior roles through to, you know, all sorts of people. And very surprisingly, the thing that pops up in almost every episode is some version of imposter syndrome.
Mhm.
And what's quite evident to me, and I think I know this anyway, but it's just a human condition. It's
Yep.
your check and balance. It's from the cave days of do you want to go outside the cave to try and catch some food because a bear might eat you?
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happening. And if this book here is a great book, and it doesn't apply just to people who want to become a consultant. It applies to people who've got a job and everything. So I
It
would
actually
say
applies inside families as well, just for the record.
everything.
We look at some things and we go, it's inert, it's safe, and we don't need to worry. We look at other things and it's, oh my God, it's scary and it's terrifying. So it's very, very unpredictable. And that's why the psychology in terms of imposter syndrome, it bubbles up out of nowhere. And
Yeah,
I've met people that over the course of a week, they start and they're like, this is going to be amazing and everything's fantastic. And then at the end of week one, they're like, Dan, is it
yeah. What
supposed to
went wrong?
is it
Yeah,
supposed to feel like this? And I go, it does if you don't talk about it. And
yeah,
that's my best advice is just find someone. I look for me, find me on LinkedIn, come and have a chat. And it's not about me selling anything to you. If you're feeling like that, come and have a chat. I talk
yeah.
to people every day of the week about it, and I'm able to offer insight as to why you're feeling the way you're feeling and how, more importantly, how to overcome it and beat it.
And it also occurs to me that you and me are different people. I could be terrified of something which totally excites and thrills you,
Mm-hmm.
and vice versa. And also today, as you've just described, I might be really excited about this thing, but tomorrow I'm terrified of it. And that's just a human condition.